Kate Moody is with us. We are talking about the big event just east of Paris, which is the reopening of Disneyland.
Yeah, it's been a pretty dead scene for the last few months. It's been closed since October the 30th, but the magic is now back at Disneyland Paris. The theme park is one of Europe's biggest tourist attractions. It welcomes around 10 million visitors every year, or at least it did before the pandemic. Attendance has been capped for now. Visitors must still wear their masks on park grounds, despite the looser rules for mask wearing outdoors in France as a whole. Characters, like Mickey Mouse, meanwhile, will have to keep their distance. Other amusement parks had reopened earlier this month. French crowds have flooded back. The industry hopes this will mark a turning point and kick off a strong summer season. Take a listen.
Je sais combien nous avons toutes et tous attendu ce moment avec impatience après une période inédite. Car au-delà de Disneyland Paris, c'est tout un secteur qui se réjouit, celui du tourisme. Notre réouverture marque une étape majeure dans sa relance. Les restaurants, les hôtels, les attractions et tous ces lieux de convivialité sont essentiels dans la vie des Français.
The United States and United Kingdom have reached a truce in a long-running trade dispute just 2 days after a similar deal was struck with the European Union. The 17-year-old spat saw the two sides accusing each other of giving illegal subsidies to plane makers Airbus and Boeing, respectively. Trade negotiators agreed to pause punitive tariffs for 5 years, a move welcomed by the Scotch whisky industry, among others that had faced tariffs. As a former EU member, the UK had to negotiate with the US separately. The deal now clears the way for transatlantic post-Brexit trade talks. Well, the European Union has approved Greece's spending plans, clearing the way for it to receive some 30 billion euros from the bloc's 750 billion euro coronavirus recovery fund. On Wednesday, Portugal and Spain became the first member states to receive that green light. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen is traveling to most of the 23 member states which have submitted funding requests. She'll be endorsing plans that meet EU requirements, including a percentage earmarked for digital and green investment.
The plan was designed here in Greece, and it will spur a growth that will be led by the Greek people, and it will be owned by the Greek people. And there's no doubt that it will deeply transform Greece's economy, which will embrace the twin green and digital transition.
Let's check in on the day's trading action now. Losses of nearly half a percentage point for London's FTSE 100 today. Slight gains in Paris and Frankfurt, as data showed 0.3% inflation in the Eurozone for the month of May. That's on target for the ECB's annualized target of 2%. Shares of the German drugs company CureVac, meanwhile, tumbled 44% as it revealed that its COVID-19 vaccine was only 47% effective. That throws into doubt the hundreds of millions of doses that have been ordered by the EU. On Wall Street, the Dow Jones and S&P 500 are trading lower for the second day in a row. The Dow Jones down over 1% this hour. Investors slightly rattled by the Federal Reserve's plans to lift interest rates in 2023 earlier than expected. New unemployment claims, meanwhile, rose slightly last week, reversing a 7-week downward trend. El Salvador has been dealt a blow by the World Bank, which says it will not assist with its implementation of Bitcoin as legal tender. The country is the first in the world to have approved the digital currency, but the plan still faces criticism. Monty Francis has the story.
It's called Bitcoin Beach. On the coast of El Salvador, the surfing village of El Zonte is the first to use the cryptocurrency. A new national law legalizes Bitcoin as legal tender, and the government is hoping to roll it out to the entire country.
We're trying to create a new economy. Not everyone has access to a bank account, so we created the Bitcoin Initiative, which is money that's easy to move, easy to use, and in the end, it's a method of exchange.
But the plan has already hit its first big roadblock. The World Bank said on Wednesday it would not assist with El Salvador's implementation of Bitcoin. In a statement, it said, "While the government did approach us for assistance on Bitcoin, this is not something the World Bank can support given the environmental and transparency shortcomings." In addition to concerns about the currency's volatility, those environmental concerns have to do with the massive amount of energy computers use to generate the cryptocurrency. 2 decades ago, the country abandoned its own currency for the U.S. dollar. Today, it's estimated that 70% of El Salvadorans do not have bank accounts, and many receive their income through remittances that come with big fees. The hope is that Bitcoin could drive investment in the country and increase the wealth of its citizens.
Certainly a vote of confidence from El Salvador there, but a lot of analysts are really concerned about this. Francois, sorry.
I can see why. They could stick to their current currency, which is what, the U.S.
dollar.
Right, okay. We'll have more business news coming up later on, including the closing word on Wall Street.